She said kinda love affair.
Is love in the air, or is your relationship on the verge of destruction? Let's talk about it. Sit back,
Relax.
and enjoy your favorite cocktail as we discuss relationships, dating,
Sex.
and love. Love on the rocks, that is.
Love on the rocks. Love on the rocks. Love on the rocks. Love on the rocks.
Hello and welcome to Love on the Rocks. Hey, it's Roger the Wild Child along with Megan Bennett. How's it going, Meg?
It's going. How are you?
I'm doing good. Another fun week
Yeah.
in the dating world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll definitely be here to talk a little bit more about that tonight. Got a great show. We got a jam-packed show tonight. We are discussing the balancing act when parenthood meets the dating world. And so that's what we find is the biggest challenge out there, is being a parent and learning when to go in and start dating.
Right. It's hard.
It is
It's
hard.
hard, dude. It's hard.
And so just trying to find, that connection, trying to figure out that space from the kids and being able to know how to balance the two,
Right. And a lot of people, if they're older, and their kids, they're empty nesters, I guess is what it's so much harder if you've got younger kids and you're dating. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? It makes it so hard.
it does. It really does make it difficult.
They're past their youngins have left the nest, and they don't quite understand the concept of, hey, I've still got a middle schooler.
Yeah,
I've still got a high schooler. Makes it hard. It's challenging for sure.
So let's bring in our relationship influencers. Let's bring in Crystal.
Hi, my love.
We got Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Hello.
And we got Courtney.
Hi, Courtney.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
Good. How's
everybody's
doing?
week been?
Busy.
Busy? Rachel, how's yours been?
Awesome. Awesome.
Good.
So we're all parents here.
Right.
We're all out there hitting the dating world out there. But I had another.
That's what you want to call it. I mean, Crystal's like trying to. Not really.
I had another crazy dating week. Another one that went.
Is anybody currently dating? Like,
I'm currently dating. So I have an interesting input on the show, and that's why I really wanted to come in tonight. I for 10 years, I stayed single and I did not date anybody because I have 2 kids, and
yours are young too, aren't they, Rachel?
Well, one's 9 and one's 17.
So yeah, so you're in the same boat. Okay.
So I didn't want my boys.
Is it me or is Rachel lagging?
She's lagging.
Oh,
Rachel, you're lagging real bad. Yep, you're freezing up.
Hello,
Langston. I'm not gonna.
Speaking of parenting,
is that better? No. Yes. No.
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 So log out, log back in real quick, Rachel.
Sure.
I don't know what's going on. There's a connection thing, so check your Wi-Fi. So, Crystal, how is dating life for you as a mom?
what dating life?
Yeah. What?
So it's very hard to carve out free time for dating. And the one thing that came to mind when we brought this up as a topic for me was that, like, as a single mom, just because I don't have my kid that day and I might have free time doesn't mean that you can monopolize that time. Like, I still need some of it too. And I have had a difficult time finding other people who also understand this concept.
Right.
Like just because I have free time doesn't really mean I'm free.
Mhm.
You know, like I still have to get stuff done around the house and, you know, get my priorities in order and do my self-care. I can't just dedicate all my free time to dating.
I understand, you know, priorities kind of take
Right.
precedence. Kids take
Same.
precedence, you know.
Same.
So
And a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah. Rachel, you're back on.
Okay.
So continue with what you were saying.
Well, first of all, is everything okay? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're better
great.
now.
I really want to get this out. So for 10 years, I stayed single. I did not date anybody because I didn't want my kids to see that revolving door of, hi, this is Uncle Bob, and this is Uncle, and then there's Uncle Jim, right? And I didn't want my boys to see that. So I did not date. I did not have sex for 10 years. Now I'm 51 and, you know, the kids are a little older and I am dating. And it is interesting because at what point do you introduce your children to this person? There's so many interesting elements to all of it, but yeah, I
have the 6-month rule.
Yeah,
6
that's
months.
good.
Yeah, because usually like people can only lie for you know, on average
For
between
6
3 and
months.
6 months.
Yep.
So they make it to
That's
that
usually
6-month
when my
mark.
relationships actually fail. When I'm in a
It's right.
relationship, it's
Yeah,
6 months.
at 6
Like,
months you
see?
really somebody, right?
Sometimes
Forget the-
doing research
Mhm.
kind of helps. Look at that.
Forget the 7-year itch. We're talking about the 6-month itch.
Right.
No, that's true.
But it's
It is
interesting
true.
because it's actually so true. Of 6 months, you're going to figure out somebody's real feelings and real
And who they really are.
intentions, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Only lie for so long.
Right.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I have the 6-month rule as far as like before I would consider introducing somebody to my kid as, you know, my boyfriend. So
Right.
I just, yeah, I'd rather not introduce him to people who might not be in his life or might not be, you know,
Mhm.
it might be in and out. Like, I don't want that in and out business. So we don't do that.
Right. Absolutely. So, Courtney, how about dating life for you as a mom?
It's a little different than the other things I've heard. Only because I'm not looking to have not looking to have a long-term single life partner, and so that actually is a lot more relieving for my children. There's no one that's going to be a stepdad. There's no one that's going to be making parenting decisions with me. That's a huge one. For a while I did, you know, I had a couple different people over the years that the kids got really attached to, you know, and they were looking at as like a father figure, you know, and that does a lot of damage, you know, not just to me, but a huge amount of damage to them as well. So, yeah.
That's
I
a good
understand
point. Definitely a good point.
Yeah.
You know, when you start dating somebody, you don't want them to come in and start, you know, telling you how to raise your kids or yeah,
Right.
that's huge.
Yeah, that's kind of like one of those lines that you don't cross without having a conversation with that other
Absolutely.
person with. Yeah. That I don't know. Okay, so I know I've said it before and part of me feels guilty about it. It's not that I wouldn't date somebody with kids. It's that even though I have a child of my own, I would still prefer, you know, the person I'm dating to not have children.
Not.
Absolutely. Because I
Bingo.
mean, it's
Even
hard
though, I
to
don't know,
love somebody
like I
else's
mentioned
kids,
earlier,
right?
It's
I know.
hard, right?
I'm
is.
completely
I mean,
opposite.
Well,
on
no,
that, guys.
I don't think it's so much.
Totally opposite.
I don't like.
I see, me too. Yeah.
Before I had kids, I didn't like kids, so I like my own kids. But I mean, how am I going to like somebody else's little brat, right? Like, I mean, I can put up with my own because I love them; they're my blood, you know. But I don't want to date somebody.
I love kids. I love my neighbor. My kids always have friends over. Like I'm the neighborhood cool mom.
And that's not to say
How
that I
can you imagine
wouldn't.
not loving another kid.
But how that other person treats
Mhm.
their children, how they interact with their children, how they prioritize their
Says a
children,
lot about them.
that makes a huge
Mhm.
impact on me.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
So
How
let me
would you
shift-
guys
Go
feel
ahead.
about meeting their kids?
I would give it the time, the same time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, you don't want to, you want to make sure that the chemistry is there, that the connection is there
Sure.
before you go and introduce or impose yourself on a whole family, you know?
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
you could date somebody for a week and everything's great, but then things start falling apart. And then why would you sit there and expose these kids to people when you're not sure, when you're in the honeymoon stage yourself, trying to figure out your dating goals?
I think
So,
there should be so much more than just a honeymoon stage, but I get what
right.
you're saying.
Absolutely. So let's shift gears here for a second. Let's talk about, you know, dating with co-parenting. When you have you have a ex that,
Mhm.
you know, you
Oh.
guys share a child with, but you're
Mhm.
dating. How do you,
Mhm.
you know, where do you stand on letting your kid's parent, your kid's other
Mhm.
parent feel content to meet your partner because you know that your kids are going to have to be with this person. So when do you let the other partner meet your
Mm.
partner or your old partner meet your new partner?
Okay, I gotta chime in on this one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, my son's father and I have it in our agreement that before we introduce him to a significant other, that we at least just let, you know, the other parent meet this significant other. They don't have to approve, they just have to meet. That's it.
Right.
Mhm.
And you know what? Like, I will say, co-parenting with my son's father, now that he's remarried, I am so lucky. I'm just going to put that out there publicly. I am so lucky that my son has the stepmom that he has. So that's a whole
Wow.
other, you know,
I love
aspect to single, you know, parent dating and
Mhm.
things like that. Like, because you don't know who they're going to bring in to your
Right.
child's life.
That's yeah, it could be bad.
And I grew up hearing stories, like horror stories,
Yeah.
you know, about, you know, wicked stepmoms and things like that. So I always had that fear, you know, deep down. And I got so lucky, y'all. She's awesome.
Oh, that's
I will say that
incredible.
my
Good.
son's
That's
You've
good.
been
stepmom
so
is,
blessed.
yeah. So
You've been so
you
blessed.
better not screw that up.
Mhm.
Just
So
throwing that
my
out there.
dating,
Yeah.
okay, so my situation's kind of unique. So I moved, you all know that I moved here from Texas. I had to go through the court system to get the judge to approve that I could take the kids out of Idaho and take them over to
Right.
the state. So
Right.
it happened. Their mom and I, we just totally bumped heads on the whole thing, on the transition. I'm not going to go into all the legal matter. But at the end of the day, I'm here and she's here now too. She's actually staying with me for the kids' sake, and
What? She
because
lives with
That's
you?
yeah.
Oh
So
my god.
for right now,
But
no,
if it
no,
works
no, no.
for the babies,
That's
Right.
wild.
Yeah, so that's the thing right now is, I mean, she has her life, she does her thing, I have my life, I do my
Oh
thing.
my
She could
God.
date whoever she wants. I mean, she lives upstairs in the guest room. Okay, it's not.
That's crazy. This is like a whole nother show topic. Wow.
So you know, so I'm going to get to my point here.
Okay.
But I mean, we get along. We co-parent good. I mean, we make better friends than we were lovers. I mean,
Right.
and you know what? And the thing is, the kids didn't want to go back and forth between Idaho and here, so we compromised, and so she's here.
we
So-
compromised and we moved to Idaho.
That's so crazy.
Texas. So we're here in
Or
Texas.
yeah, Texas.
Yes, we are here in Texas. And the kids didn't want to go back and forth, and she wasn't going to be away from the kids. So we kind of agree. It works for now, but if I'm in a relationship with somebody, eventually, you know, things are going to have to change. But, you know, for now it works. So for
Wow.
me, when I go meet people, right off the bat, I kind of like explain my situation in the beginning. And I
Does that
realized
ruin things? Do
that
you
ruined
feel?
that
Yeah, that
ruined things
could.
right off the bat
Yeah.
because they put up a wall right
Yeah.
off the bat. So then I stopped
Okay.
telling people on the first date about what my living situation is.
Then they
Yeah,
feel
that's-
like you're hiding
yeah.
something.
Right, that's crazy. I
Wait,
got my
time
I got
out.
my ex-wife. I swear to God, she's my ex. She's living with me though. It works.
It won't be a wall for the correct person, though. Someone that's
Right.
understand. That doesn't seem crazy. You kept saying, "That's crazy. That's crazy." It doesn't seem crazy to me. I've had similar situations where, the father of my children has stayed with us at times, and the kids
Same.
get to spend time with their dad, and it works out the best that we could hope for. It's not always. It hasn't always been easy, but at times it was what was necessary.
Right.
So
Okay, I gotta interject. Hold on.
Okay,
First
go
of all, kudos to you guys for the good co-parenting and modeling good co-parenting in front of your kids and getting along because it's
We know
way
I ain't got
healthier for
that.
them. But number two, I will say this: if I am dating somebody who has children and he doesn't get along with his children's mother and has nothing nice to say about her and is constantly putting her down and constantly complaining about her, huge red flag.
Huge red flag. I
Humongous
agree.
red flag.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
throwing that out there.
So,
Humongous.
so it works for now. And usually I wait till about maybe the second or third date. I kind of let them in. I don't go a month or two, and be like, oh, by the way, October surprise. No, but I mean, it's kind of like, I kind of, well, here's my situation. I had one girl say, why didn't you tell me right off the bat? I said, I'm not telling you right off the bat because I'm not going to explode or give out all my dirty laundry on the first date to every single person. I want to make sure that there is a connection that, and then I'd be like, okay, you're comfortable enough. I'm comfortable enough. Let's kind of talk about what's going on. If you want to pursue us, here's my situation. And believe it or not, I've had some people that were totally cool with it and some people who are completely uncool. And I'd rather have somebody who's totally cool about my situation and respect the fact that I could have respect for my kid's mom, and not and realize it's for the kids, not for me. Then that's probably the person that I want in my life.
I agree.
I think telling somebody right away would help with the person understanding. Maybe after 3 dates, like that person is already going to be invested in their feelings for you. And then they're like, wow, wait a minute. That's
Right.
But you know how long it takes to book 3
right
dates?
from the
That's a long
get-go.
time.
Roger, also we discussed it last week, but you're not like having a bunch of conversations and FaceTimes and stuff with this person, right? Like you're jumping right into a date. So that is when you're getting to know them, correct?
Yeah, usually we have like maybe a couple phone calls or whatever, and then we go and meet up, and and so it's kind of like the introduction. It's like the introduction when you meet somebody for the first time. You just don't, everybody has their baggage. You don't pour out your baggage on a first date to anybody, and everybody has their own baggage, right?
That
I mean, I guess it depends on what the baggage is.
That seems like pertinent information. Like we won't be going back to my place because my kid's mom lives there. I mean, that seems like it could have a big impact on the relationship.
No, but if we're
Right,
in a serious relationship, then yeah, that's fine.
Roger, I would say at your meet and greet, maybe don't say it, but at the first date, then that would be the time.
Or after the meet and greet, be like, hey, I just want to let you know my situation. If we're gonna move forward, here's what's up, and see if they are receptive or not.
Question:
receptive.
Have you brought someone home, like that you're dating, and her be there? And how did that go?
Not yet, because
Not
I
yet,
can't even
okay.
get past the friggin' second date because people are fucking whack.
I didn't know if this was the thing though, like in Idaho too, before you came down to Texas.
In Idaho, yeah, in Idaho, yeah. I had a girlfriend. She was at the house, and my ex had a boyfriend, and she brought him over. So, I mean, it's not that we wouldn't do that, but we want to make sure the kids that we're secure in our relationship before we start bringing people to the house. I have no problem if I'm in a relationship with somebody to bring them here and have her upstairs be like, and hopefully they can all get along and be friends and they're cool like that. Doesn't always happen that way, but that would be cool. I'm not saying be friends, but at least be acquaintances, right? You don't want your ex and your new person like closer than you and that person is. That wouldn't go over well. But like I said, it's a unique situation. But it works for now. Doesn't mean it's going to be a permanent situation. But that's,
I don't know. I love seeing the co-parenting families. Like I see these pictures. A friend of mine, Melissa, and her ex-husband Robert are like the best co-parents. And I always see they always take these cute pictures at like their ball games, the kids' ball games or cheer meets, and they've got shirts that say like mom, dad, bonus mom, bonus dad.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
They, like the girl, the mom and the new mom, the mom and the stepmom are like super close. The dads are super close. Like, and I love that.
Mhm.
I think it's
Who
so
doesn't?
important, but it's
Yeah,
so hard.
Yeah, that's
In a
not
real-
realistic.
Yeah,
Right. You don't see it often.
No, you don't.
You really don't.
Yeah.
You got
But
the
it
mom
just-
and
it
the dad
gives me
that hate
hope.
each other.
Right.
That.
But it gives me hope that it is attainable.
There's hope. It's possible.
It's attainable. It's just both parties have to be at that maturity level and accept, hey, we are over. It's about the kids.
Yeah.
You're going to be in their life. You might as well make it enjoyable.
And I get it from the outside looking in. You're kind of like skeptical, and it's probably because the person who's on the outside looking in might have had bad relationships like that.
I was just about to say that that kind of trauma will stick with you, And I've
Right.
unfortunately experienced that where someone told me that they were split up with their wife, come to find out their wife was out of town. I mean,
Yes.
I've had men do some very
Yes.
shady things.
Yes.
Yep.
No, I can relate to that myself because my ex, like we don't even co-parent because he was so bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, yeah, I
Right.
got those a restraining order and he had to go away. You know what I mean? So like,
Same.
yeah.
Same.
So I don't have any kind of co-parenting. I am the only parent, but
You wear the cape.
yeah, I wear the cape,
Yep.
mommy and
You're
daddy.
a cape. You're
Yep.
a warrior.
Hey, 845-442-LOVE if you guys want to chime in on the conversation and talk to us, be part of, and maybe have a story to tell, or if you have a comment about my situation or any situation that we're discussing. The number here is 845-442-5683, 845-442-LOVE. We're talking about parenthood, mixing into the, meeting the dating world, because, we are as individuals, not only as we have our parent, we are parents, but we're also looking for that love, that connection, to be with that one, to find that person that's going to fulfill that void that we're pursuing.
Right.
So
Well, I don't know about a void. I feel like I'm whole all by myself. Roger, thanks.
That's how I did that for 10 years. I felt, completely satisfied just being, on my own.
Just a thought, like if you are dating to fill a void,
Right.
dating's
No.
not going to do that.
And that,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I was completely 100% happy. And so I have a morning show called Coffee Talk. And every morning people are like, how are you so happy? And for
Coffee talk or poppy talk?
coffee.
Okay, that's what I thought you said, but I was
Coffee.
like, wait, what?
Yeah.
My computer, like,
Yeah, it's okay. So coffee talk. So,
Okay.
but people would always ask me like, how are you so happy? And I'm like, cause I'm single and I don't have to deal with that bullshit. For 10 years, and I was at that point in life where I was 100% satisfied just being within myself. Cause there's nobody to tell you, shut up, calm down. You're not funny. It's and it's just you. And it's good. But now I'm at the point where I'm actually dating somebody, and it is complicated and
it
interesting.
is, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so complicated in today's world trying
Yeah.
to co-parent and
Mhm.
make time for yourself and
Mhm.
them and your kids, and
Mhm.
especially in the newness of it when you've got your kids like, Mom, what are you doing? Where are you going?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
what's going
Yeah.
on? And you're like, oh, I don't want to. It's none of your business right now.
Yeah.
Like to say hello to Eddie on YouTube. Thank you for watching. He said Rachel brought him to the show.
Hi, Eddie.
Hi, Eddie.
Hello, Eddie. Eddie is one of my fans.
So
Thank you, Eddie.
when you're introducing your kids to your partner, what is the safest way to go about that? You don't just want to just have them walk through the door, and be like, "Hey, kids, meet
Baseball game.
baseball game."
Baseball game. Something public. Something sports. Something
neutral territory, and
Yeah,
don't try to be all fake about it. Be like, this is mommy's friend. Like, no,
Right.
No, Uncle Bob.
I think it really depends on the age of the kids as well, right?
Yeah.
How you're going to introduce
Yeah.
them
Right.
and where. And I try not to bring, I hardly ever bring anyone into our home. This is our
Yeah.
sacred space. This is a safe
Exactly.
space. And we make decisions as a group here. So I'm not just going to, I try not to just bring someone over, if they're not okay with it.
Right.
Well,
I agree with that. This is my safe spot.
Well, I think
This is
dating
one
and
place
living together, or like being in the same, sharing the same space, that's a whole different level.
That's so
Oh, yeah.
different. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But like, if I'm just dating somebody, they're not necessarily sharing my space.
no,
Like, I need that.
exactly. Like this is my spot. I can come and not have to. I'm eating tater tots. Not have to.
Yum.
Will you DoorDash me some?
I'm starving, y'all.
It's okay. You're making me hungry.
So,
I'm so hungry.
So here's a good question. How do you handle guilt? Going on a date with somebody and knowing that you're away from your kids.
It's hard.
that's
You're-
what gets-
yeah.
I don't
No, your
go
kids
on
will
dates
call
on
you,
dates
the
where I have
little
my
ones.
kid.
Have you ever been on a date with somebody and then your phone rings like 38 times because it's your
Yes. Yes. It's the worst. Like,
Mom,
what
Dad.
are you doing? What time are you going to be
When
home?
you coming
Why are
home?
you
We
sitting at the
hungry.
red light for 2
Right.
minutes? Like, why haven't you taken that right hand turn yet, Mom? Like, calm down.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's not just my kids. I know it's y'all's too that do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, guilt's hard. Guilt's hard. That's why I refrain. If my kids, they have my attention. If they're home, they've got my attention.
Mm-hmm. And when you're on your date, you're like, you're probably
that's
like, I only
hard
got
for
an
me.
hour. I got an hour and I gotta get home to my kids. They're like 2 years
It's hard
older.
for me because I'm so dedicated to my kids, and I take I'm what they've got, and it makes it hard, and I don't have them long. They're 14 and 12. They're going to be up and out before I know it. So I try to soak in every last minute that I can with them at the ball fields, at home, playing baseball. I was just outside trying to with my one arm throw the football with Langston. That's what I prefer to be doing, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer. My kids are my best friends.
I noticed it's, not noticed. Well, yeah. There's some, people out there that are bringing people into the homes and like trying to make them the new parent figure,
Right.
Oh, say hello to your new dad or say hello to your new mom. It's like, no. I had my sister-in-law used to have all these guys that she was dating, and she was like, okay, this is say hello to daddy. And I'm like, no, what the hell are you doing here? What's up with this crap? I go, and then what, next week it's a different dad that walks through the door?
Well,
really?
Yeah. You don't want
But
that.
people do that. No, seriously. There's people out there that are looking for that sick connection, looking for somebody to fill that void.
Do you guys remember the movie John Tucker Must Die?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so what
Really?
was it? What was the name that she would call all the guys her mom would date? Because her mom would bring
Everybody in. Oh,
what she gave them some name because it was like they were in and out, and it was a new guy all the
yes.
time. Skip. She called them all Skip because
Skip.
then they would, like Skip Town or
Skip
whatever
out.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be
Clever.
bringing skips around your kids. That's
Yeah. That's why I stayed single.
How many of us have seen on social media? I'm sure you guys have a friend, at least one or two, that has the new love of their life, the one, and the
Oh,
pictures
yeah.
are plastered
5
all
times a
over.
year.
And
5
then
times a year.
2 weeks later, it's somebody else, and you're just like, wait, what happened?
You're like,
what happened to Skip?
I don't
Like
bring.
I can't even get one date, and you're on your 5th forever.
Yeah.
In 5 weeks.
Yeah, that's why you don't involve social media. My rule is no social media and boyfriends. You do not. Yeah, don't ever combine them. It's too much.
Right.
I don't know. I would kind of want to show my boyfriend off on my social media, and I would want him to show me off. But I also, if it doesn't work out, that going back and deleting of the pictures is painful.
To me, that's sort of a red
I
flag.
have a motto.
What's
I
the
have
motto?
a motto I live by. I don't keep I don't keep my private life hidden. I'll keep it private.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
You get what I'm
That's a
saying?
good one.
Like,
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't keep it hidden, but it's private.
So when I found out that I'd been engaged a few years back, and when I found out that he had that girlfriend, I should have realized because his social media, his Instagram was no pictures of me. Like it started being no pictures of me. And so
Really?
yeah, if someone doesn't want to talk about me publicly and we're in a committed relationship, like we are together, we're raising kids together. Yeah, that wouldn't be good for me.
That's a huge red flag right there.
I went through that too. Yeah.
I say fuck that. Be like, hey, if you can't if you can't show me off to people and you want me to be this little secret of yours, get out of here.
Yeah,
I'll flaunt you and show you off, but I'm not gonna put dirty business out there.
Right.
I'm just not gonna keep you hidden, but I'm not gonna spill our entire lives on social media.
Don't air the dirty laundry.
Or how about those people who do air all their dirty laundry on social media, and then when somebody dares to ask a question, they get all offended, and it's like, well,
why are you in my business
now?
Why are you in my business?
Exactly.
I think the worst for me is when they air all the dirty laundry and then they take them back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
And then God forbid you ask them about it. Like, weren't y'all just bashing each other 2 posts ago? What's going on?
My favorite is like the relationship hopping, like with somebody, they break up, this one goes with somebody new, then they break up and goes back with the original, and it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So do you just have all those pictures like archived and then unarchive them, or like how does that work?
Right.
So let's talk about security. Go ahead, finish what you were going to say, and then
I don't remember. Go ahead. I don't remember.
Okay. So how do you go about securing your kids about the relationship you're in with somebody and making sure that they feel content? Meaning you're going to date somebody, right? And your kid may be like, they may not like this person.
If they don't like them, it's a red flag. It's out.
Okay, but no. They may feel jealous that you're taking time away from them to pursue a relationship with somebody. So how do you make your kids feel? What steps do you go to make your child feel secure about what you're doing?
No,
at that point,
Megan, I agree with you. Like, I mean, if they don't like, if the kids don't like the guy, that's got to be like a, deal breaker.
Right.
And if they do, then you're good to go, and you don't really have to do anything to secure their,
Right.
Well, before the point that they make their decision, you're wanting to go date, and your kid's like, you go on your first date with somebody, and your kid's jealous because they feel like they don't have your attention anymore. They feel like you're divided.
So I'm going to chime in on this. I was starting to say it earlier. I don't schedule dates for days that I have my son because that is his time. and maybe after the point where I get to introduce somebody to him and then we share some of that time, not all of it, but some of it, that would be when the two, I guess, timelines would overlap. But until that point, nope.
I
that
agree.
definitely makes sense if you just have them. Then there's parents who I have my children 100% of the time.
Me too. Yeah, it's
So-
always, so I don't get that. But
I do too.
yeah.
But I mean, they do see their dad and whatnot. But even then, I take that time to get my stuff done,
Mhm.
See, and that's what I
And-
was saying earlier.
to regroup myself for them to come back. It's like a never ending. I have to have my own time. I have to have my own peace and my own time to regroup, recollect. And that's when they're gone, is when I do that. I don't want to necessarily jump and go and see anybody at the drop of a dime the minute my kids leave, because that's mama's time too.
Mhm.
Makes
I
it
Crystal,
once
you-
dated.
Go
You're gonna
ahead.
ask. Go ahead.
Oh, Crystal, you got stats for us?
I do have some stats for you. I was going to say, though, I once dated a guy who had a very hard time understanding the concept of not all my free time is necessarily free for you. And
Right.
and that's not because I didn't want it to be, but like as a single mom, if I don't do it, it doesn't get done. Like there is no help. And like, yes, I have to use some of my free time to do things like, around my house or whatever, but also to reset for, when my kiddo comes back. But speaking
Right.
of single moms, so when I was doing some research and, statistic things here, when I did not search about single moms, I searched about single parents, and I did that on purpose. And a majority of the return results all came back about single mothers. Why do you
Really?
think that is?
Really?
Interesting.
And it would be, and it wasn't necessarily like friendly sounding, titles and headlines either, but I started digging a little bit more like, well, why is it just when I'm searching for single parents, why is it returning so much like single mom, single mom, single mom?
Right.
And well, that's because 86% of single parent families are led by mothers. That's why.
Well, the
Because-
court gives
yeah.
the children to the mothers most of the time. So that's, there's that.
I mean, you
Right.
can't generalize because, there are
Yeah, I'm
just
back
because
there.
you're a single mom, like the other parent is a single dad, unless they're remarried. It has nothing to do with who they gave the parent or who they gave the child to. They're still a single dad. It's
Right.
their choice whether,
They
or, like-
exercise it.
yeah. But a lot of the results came back about single moms because guys move on into relationships a whole lot quicker. And the moms tend to stay single longer. So 86% of those single family homes.
Interesting.
But there are more than 15 million single moms in America today. So if you're one of those guys that's got a thing.
There you
for
go,
single moms,
Roger. So many, so many
That's
available
astonishing.
options.
So my phone number
15 million.
is
That's astonishing.
There it is. 845-442
15
LLBA.
right.
15 million single moms. Yeah.
That's
and
astonishing.
about 70% of online daters said that they wouldn't be deterred by, a partner having children. Like I said, like, would I prefer them to not have children? Yeah, but does that mean that I wouldn't date them? No. Like, I don't think
Right.
it like completely rules them out. And most people feel that way. Like 70% of people said that they just wouldn't mind either way. So,
Right.
So are you open to having more children if you're trying to date or prefer to date men that don't have children?
I mean,
good
I guess it
question,
would
Brittany.
depend on the person.
This baby maker is done.
Me,
I say I'm done.
It's been an issue in the
Your
past with
maker
me.
is
I dated
closed.
someone that wanted to have a baby, and that is not it's not in the
it's
cards.
not an
for me.
option.
Yeah, it's not
I would love
likely.
to. I would love to, but I
I would not love to.
disintegrated.
Yeah.
It's
Not.
gone.
It's not the
It's
most
over and
pleasant.
it's got unplugged.
It's been burnt down.
You come to a point in your life where you look forward to your children growing up and moving on and becoming their own people, and you having that freedom to travel and do all those things that you really want to do, right? Because
I'm at that
when you-
sweet spot
yeah.
right now. I've got a teenager and
Yeah.
he's very independent, and
Mhm.
you know, he has, you know, he's out with his friends, or he's having
Mhm.
sleepovers with his friends, or you know, he does
Mhm.
see his dad a lot. I'm very lucky his dad is in his life, so it has opened up, you know, time for me to,
Yeah.
you know, solo travel, or he actually travels with me a lot now too, since I have him for bigger chunks of time, and now he's into that, so that's kind of nice.
That's
How old
cool.
is he?
13.
13. Okay. Yeah.
That's
Him
a
and
great age
my
for that.
14-year-old, they have the same birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson
My
and
children
Oh.
travel
Tyson.
a lot with me. It's
Mm-hmm.
They're
it's
a
one of
year
our
apart,
bonding
but
things.
same birthday.
Yes, they do. So you travel a lot with your kids,
I do, yep.
and yours are, you got 9 and 14?
My children are 21, 18, and 13.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that'd make
Cool.
it easier.
I travel
Yeah.
to the baseball fields.
We spent a lot of time. A lot of time
Yeah,
at those
that's-
baseball fields.
Yes, that's like the extent of my traveling right now.
Well, all my kids are
Serious.
coming to travel to see me on Christmas. So I'm going to have all 6 of my kids on Christmas.
Fun.
6? You have
6.
6?
You didn't know
Wait,
that, Rachel?
Hang on.
Oh,
Let
that's like
me
a
read.
couple- It's like
hang
a
on,
litter.
Let me recount real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What are
5.
what are
Yep,
their
6.
ages, Roger?
13, 14,
What are their ages?
21, 22, 26, and 29.
All the same mother?
That's
No.
right.
How many mothers?
That's a different episode.
I want to know. I want to know right now.
Wait, how many kids would be too many kids for you guys?
3. I can barely handle my 2. I have mad respect.
Give me
for
all
you,
the kids.
Dale. Like, yeah, how do you do 3? I can barely do 2. 6?
Give me all the kids.
But like for the other person. So if, what's your
I
limit
love
like?
kids.
So they could have like 12 kids, and you'll be like, all right, cheaper by the dozen.
All
Come
right,
on
let's
over.
not take that to the
Wow.
extreme. Let's not take it that extreme.
I think it really depends on how many different mothers
Mothers you
possibly
had.
and
Yeah.
and why those relationships fell apart. There's so many different things for me that would determine if I'm willing to open up, those
Take
doors
on
to a
and-
a
right.
possible relationship.
Mhm.
Wow, Roger.
I would say
6. You baby maker.
I don't
Never
know.
know.
heard of condoms?
I come from such a big family. I don't know if I could put a number on it. Of course, at my age, being 40, I feel like if someone has a lot of kids, they're older. They're not like young kids, which plays a big part in it to me. Now, if you're walking around with a set of 3-year-old triplets and a set of damn 9-year-old twins, and nope.
That's what I was just wondering. Would you guys consider dating someone with a baby? A very little. That would be very out of
Ooh,
what
that'd
I'm
be
used to.
I
Because
think-
my children are big and we have lots of opportunities to do things. And so
Yeah.
a tiny.
I think that at my age right now and where I am in life, I've already raised 6 kids. I think unless they have teenagers or whatever, it's a different, or my kids' age, that's one thing. But if I'm not ready to start all over again.
Yeah.
I'll be ready for
Roger,
grandbabies
that's a
soon.
good question, Roger. For you, like, are you interested in dating a woman that has kids? I mean, what do you think? I mean, don't you prefer, since you have 6, to like date
if they're,
somebody that
if
has
they're my kids'
one?
ages, I think that's fine. My boys are teenagers now, so they would need to be teenagers. To have somebody that's got like a 4-year-old or a 3-year-old, it's like
Ugh,
I've
you
already
don't
gone
wanna
through
do
that
that.
stage.
Yeah.
I don't want to start all over another 18, because if we got serious and got married, then, guess what? We've got another, 15 years, with raising another child, So yeah, I think at that point, it's just, as long as they had older kids, I'm okay with it. If it's younger kids, then they're probably not going to be the right chemistry for me.
I'll never forget the freedom I felt
What about
as
you,
a
Crystal?
mom when I didn't have to carry around a diaper bag and a stroller
Oh my
and a
God.
carrier. Like,
Yeah.
oh, the freedom. I mean, like, my arms were jacked because of it, but
But Crystal,
um,
would you date someone with a young child? I know you prefer not to, but would you?
I would. I mean,
With somebody with a baby, you would carry that little baby in your little papoose again. Remember, like when we
She's a
when
fucking
we wrapped
rock
the
star
baby
mom.
on our.
I still have the Moby wrap. I
Yes!
have everything from
I had like
my son.
15 different kinds where like you'd wrap the baby around you.
And
Would
it's
you
like a little
carry
baby
somebody else-
burrito.
Yeah. Would you carry somebody else's baby burrito on you?
Yeah.
I mean, if they had a baby that would eventually go home to its mother,
Yeah.
great.
Amen. Amen.
So a dad with full
You have to
custody
be
is
really
out of
hot
the question.
and
I like the way
something
she said
else.
that.
Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah.
I mean, man, I like my sleep too.
Yeah.
I really like my sleep.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it's like completely out of the question. I would prefer them not to. And like I said, I'm at that sweet spot where my kid's super independent now. And like, you know, he's too cool for me. So it's like,
Right.
all right, like,
I've got
How
that
would-
in between stage with the boys. Like Langston's so independent, whereas Easton still sleeps with me at night.
Wow.
he's going to
And
hate
he's-
you that you just
well,
put that out
That
on the
is
internet
something
now.
you can't do when you're dating, right? When you're dating somebody and you've got a child that still sleeps. in
Oh
the
no.
Woo. That's
No,
a big
he
one.
doesn't sleep with me every night, but he has his nights where he'll come and crawl in bed with me, and we sleep the best like that. But I know my time is coming soon
Yeah.
to a stop with that. You know, he's getting bigger, he's growing, but right now he's the
How old
size
is
of
he?
a 6.
Which one is he?
12.
12.
He's my youngest, but he's the size of like a 6-8-year-old. He's real petite still. And he's just real. He has that young adolescence to him.
My older
He's
one
not worried
was-
about girls and
My older one, he was about that age, and I remember I had friends that were like, "Your child's gonna need therapy for because you're letting him sleep."
you're right.
I'm like, but you know what? We are all unique and different, and shut the fuck up, right? Because you're all, you don't
Right.
understand the situation, right? I'm a single mom, and my kid still wants to sleep in my bed. It's okay. It is okay. And when
If he finds comfort,
yeah. Yes, yeah.
exactly.
So I get it. I
If
definitely
he finds
get it.
comfort sleeping with
Yeah.
mama, let him
Yeah.
sleep with mama.
Yeah, they all
You know,
eventually
he does it
go
with his
into their
dad,
own
too.
rooms. They all eventually.
He'll
it
curl up.
happens.
He'll curl up in bed with his dad some nights too. So it's just like he still is very much attached. Whereas Langston's like, get the hell out of my room.
It's funny how they're all
No one prepares you for that stage.
No,
right?
no.
How heartbreaking it is.
It is.
I have to
You go
ask
from
Langston.
there.
I'm like, Langston, can I scratch your back tonight? Just to have that closeness that I still have with Easton.
Mhm.
You know, just
right.
so that's
Phone
something
lines
is
are
how
blowing up,
we
guys.
not forgive you.
Yay!
Yay! All right, so let's go to the phones right now. And hi, you're on Love on the Rocks.
Hello, guys. This is Eddie. I'm the one that Rachel invited tonight.
Hi,
And,
Eddie. Eddie.
Hi, Eddie.
Double dipping. Hi, Eddie.
Hello, Eddie.
Hi there. Like, I'm 63. I am divorced. I'm an old Marine, and I'm
Thank you.
completely disabled with chronic pain. And I will not be dating. I understand that, but I can imagine what it would be like to be 30, 40, 50, whatever, and trying to date at this point. So I just wanted to say, give y'all a hat tip because, wow, I couldn't imagine being out there at this point and trying to find someone to date. So y'all have it hard, and my heart goes out to y'all. But I hope you find someone that you can.
Well, thank you, Eddie.
trust.
Thank
That's
you.
sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eddie, for calling
I
in.
appreciate
Yeah.
that.
And
It's not
serving our
easy.
country and all of it. Yeah. The older you get, it does get harder.
Yes,
I think
above everything.
Yeah. Yeah, we get to that point in life where, the older we are, the less we want to share with people. I don't even want to share the remote control. You get more interested in watching Netflix than going out to bars. And, it's like dating and love and all of it is for, the youth. We start to lose our looks. All of it. Yeah, we get comfortable.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, we got another caller on the line.
Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you, Eddie. Hi, you're on Loving the Rocks. Who's this and where you calling from?
Hey, my name is Willie. I'm from Atlanta.
What's up, Willie?
Hey,
From
Willie.
Atlanta. I'm from Atlanta.
Hey, what's going on?
So what's your question or comment?
So, in your opinion, who do you think has it harder, men or women?
Oh, good question.
Are you ready?
Yes,
So remember that research I was telling you about that I was doing? So it ends up that men end up in relationships, or like the single fathers end up in relationships quicker, typically. And it's when I was doing the research and everything kept coming back about single mom, single mom, single mom, it wasn't stuff that was necessarily in a positive light. So a lot of the rhetoric out there on single moms is particularly negative, though it shouldn't be. And when you take into consideration that 86% of single parent families are led by single moms, well, yeah, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them.
Right.
So, what if I told you that 33% of men between the ages of 18 and 30 are virgins, and 63% of men between the ages 18 and 30 are virgins?
Really?
I believe you.
Yeah, and I have a solution for that. So you guys might crack some jokes.
Downtown.
What if I told you that you can?
Spell it, Willie.
Oh, he hung up.
Megan. Scared him
You got
away.
4 attractive females. You're gonna have a caller come in at that. Willie is probably gonna be our.
Just
Oh
so
my
you guys
God.
know,
I love
if anybody ever says a statistic and I'm like, I believe you,
it.
you're probably right.
I was thinking that 91% of statistics are made up on the spot.
Right?
Including that
How do
one.
they come up with these numbers?
Yeah.
Come on.
Survey says.
The number's up there.
Yeah. All right.
Might not be
said,
free,
I believe
but-
it. And he said, click.
And then he was gone.
That was the funniest thing ever.
845-442-LOVE if you want to get in before we take off. Get some last minute comments in or questions, or just want to say hi. 845-442-LOVE. So let me ask you, when you are introducing your child to your partner, or let me ask you this, are you afraid of rejection from a potential partner who may not, or may have a difficult time with you having children?
Nope. Well, usually, you address that before you introduce them to your kids. So, like, that'll come up before.
Sorry,
But,
if you've got a problem with my kids, get the fuck out.
That
so there it is.
We don't pull a Roger. We don't wait till the third date, Roger, to tell him.
Yeah.
I say second date, okay, not the third.
I'm just teasing.
No, it's right off the rip. Like, look, I've got 3 boys. They're my fucking world. They occupy my time. You can catch me at the ball field.
Easier for girls than it is guys. I will tell you that for sure.
What?
I said easier for girls than guys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Guy be like, okay, I'll come visit you at the ball field. All right, cool.
I like that voice, Roger. That's awesome.
Whereas us females were like, no.
Uh-huh. Who's that? Oh, that's their mom. Oh, she's there too? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she
I'd be like, great, let me
she
meet her.
sleeps upstairs. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Right?
Sorry, watch her.
You'll meet her. She'll be at the house.
She'll be back at the house later.
It's okay. She's got a boyfriend too. He's over.
We can make this into a
Yeah, we can. That's another show. We can all be together. It's like a one big happy.
Some like
Did y'all
co-parenting
see?
Brady
Have y'all
Bunch.
seen that thing on Facebook where the identical brothers? Hold on.
Yes,
yes.
and they dated. They were married to the girls with their heads.
And they all live in the same house, and I love that.
Oh God,
The two guys. So you're thinking about the girls with two heads. And that's
You're
one-
leaning into it, huh?
No,
What is going on here?
I know we just went off
brothers.
subject a little bit. We
So
all have
there's-
a little ADD here going on here.
No,
we
these
just went
two-
off.
Listen, these two twin brothers went to a
Okay.
festival for twins. They
Okay.
met twin sisters, identical twin sisters.
Okay.
They married each other. One set
Yeah.
married the other set. Then they had a baby boy. Both of them had baby boys at the same time. They all live under the same roof.
This is like some Mormon shit going on here. Like, right? This is like
It's interesting though, because by DNA
I've seen
standards
pornos
or
like
something
this,
like that,
right?
they're like they're brothers by DNA because I guess they're identical twin.
Mhm.
Y'all get what I'm saying? Chris,
Yeah.
you might understand.
Yeah, I get where you're going with it. I wonder though, like what the genetics
How it
there
works.
actually end up being.
Right. I love that they have that relationship. They're twins, so of course they're like, you know,
right.
joined at the hip.
Now here's the thing, like I didn't get to grow up with my siblings in a typical
Me neither.
sense.
Right.
And I've seen twins that like, oh man, you want to see some sibling fights or some sibling rivalries. It's
twins.
got friends that are twins. That's the first place to look.
Twins.
Also, they are, no matter how alike they look, they are two separate people. They're two separate people. But I don't know.
I guess in that instance, though, you don't have to worry about like codependent or not codependent, but co-parenting, and you know what I mean. It's just
I feel like then you'd be co-parenting with like 3 people instead of
three
1.
people, right?
That
Yeah,
could get
that's
difficult.
that's what I'm trying to say. Like, is that their concept? Is that
So is
I
it just
don't
their
know.
shtick? Are they really public? Do they have a lot of social media? Are they doing it because it works for
Right.
them and that's funding their life, or is it what they actually chose because they wanted to?
That's a good question. Yeah. I've only seen it on social media, and I saw it on like Good Day or Good Morning America, I think is what, something like that. So that makes me think, like you just said, are they doing it for
publicity.
or is it a genuine, like, legit thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me, though.
I would think they would get sick of each other.
I would
I
think
don't
so,
know.
because I can't stand being around my mom all that much.
All right, guys.
That's my world, but
All right. Final thoughts on dating and parenting, Megan.
I say do it, but take your time and be smart about it, and don't, in the midst of a new love, don't forget about your kids, but just be smart. And any good parent's going to do that.
Crystal.
Dating a single parent is challenging at times, but I think it's definitely worth it. And hey, if you're into single moms, there's 15 million of them out there for you.
There it goes.
We have yeah.
Courtney,
Okay, Courtney.
Just be open-minded and honest from the get-go. I mean, that's kind of my theory on everything, but if you're being transparent and you guys are on the same page with things, you know, it might work out.
Rachel.
You know, I think holding out until you meet the right person is important. And, you know, when you meet that right person, you're going to know it. And that's when you can share it with your children. Other than that, you know, try to be pure and be a mom or dad or whatever it is.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
All
all
right,
great advice. It's been a really good episode.
So my
Roger,
my-
what's your take?
Okay, so I say, you know who you are, know what you want, make sure that your kid is always priority. Your children are your priority, have conversations with your children when you're dating, and let them know what to do so that they don't feel like you're slipping away from them. With your
Right.
partner, set boundaries. Set boundaries. Let your partner know. Listen, I'm a parent. My kids are my responsibility, and so you're going to have to understand. I'm not going to be at your beck and call every 30 seconds.
Right.
Okay. So there's going to be a
Fill
time
out the
for
Langston, please.
Another show.
Oh, and also planning helps. Spontaneous things are hard, but give the single parent time to plan and they can make it happen.
right.
Yeah.
Yes. Golden. Golden.
Just throwing that out there.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us this week. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Taking next week off. It's my son's birthday. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
No show. But we'll be back in 2 weeks. Ladies, thank you so much for joining this week. And if you guys have a topic you would like us to cover, please message Megan or myself and let us know where you guys, or just message us the Love on the Rocks Facebook page. Send us
One of us will get it.
One of us will get it, and just let us know what topic you would like us to explore, and we'll put that in the hat. So
Yeah.
absolutely. All right, guys. You guys have a great rest of your week. Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon.